What is up, everybody? Sean and D-Man here. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great weekend. We are here to talk about episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again. Now, this dropped on Tuesday. Episode 2 and 3 dropped on Tuesday, which I was not really expecting to happen, but it is what it is. And in episode 2 review, I did mention that I would do this one separate. So if you've not seen my episode 2 review, I dropped that this past Wednesday. But we're just going to get right into it. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the channel for all fun, nerdy based content, whether it's the Nerd Talk podcast, just some various article readings, discussions, stuff like that. So there's plenty for everybody here to check out. So episode, so episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again. We left off with Karen capturing one of the um, task force agents. Now, come to find out, he wants to help. You know, Karen has Matt use his senses to tell if the guy is lying or not, but Matt says no, he's telling the truth. But he does not like what Fisk is doing. Fisk needs to be stopped, and he's like, either you're with the task force or they kill you. And so he gives Matt his key card, and what the key card does is gives him access to the facility at Red Hook. Now, but it changes at midnight every single day. So so Matt and Karen have to come up with a plan to go in to cause an explosion, basically detonate the ordinance that's inside Red Hook, detonate it, and that will cause a huge, massive commotion, which Karen can let her friends know, ideally the people in the media. I wonder if we're going to see the editor that we saw from the previous 3 Netflix series. I wonder if we would see him. Um, I'm curious about that. So meanwhile, also, Karen was able to slip a copy of the Charter of 1885, where Red Hook is situated, was able to slip it to the governor. She's got a copy of it, and they basically come down to the office and have discussions with Fisk about the situation. You know, talking about how she has given him some leeway because, for the time being, the vigilante trials, emergency powers, all that stuff seemed to be positive for the time being. But she can definitely, she's definitely probably not on board with Fisk anyway. That's where you have Daniel looking to try to find some dirt that they can use on her, but Daniel tells Buck that she's fit as a fiddle, nothing. He says she's a nun with a machine gun. But Buck's like, you know, there's always something. People are always hiding something. Um, so basically, I'm going to skip around a bit, but basically, what Daniel does, she talks to he talks to one of the people close to her to try to get him drunk enough to um maybe spill some information that Daniel can relay back to Fisk, and where the Fisk and Vanessa can use that as leverage against the governor. Meanwhile, while this is going on, we get Kristen. She gets taken to the facility by Cole to meet Jack. Now, Jack's trial has been moved up. And you already know this is basically a sham. The whole thing's a sham. They were going to find him guilty regardless of evidence or not. So while Kristen is blindfolded, obviously she can't see where they are. She's able to remember steps, and we see this throughout the little episode where as she's walking, she's like relaying information, like how many steps she went down. There's pigeons, there's water dripping, there's wind blowing her hair, so she's able to pretty much remember all this. um but obviously the trial does not go as planned. Even though there is, and even Karen points it out, there is no evidence in regards to any kind of vigilantism that Jack has done. Even Jack's on stand telling everybody the truth, where Fisk tried to strong arm him into cooperating for his. Sorry, I don't know. I just got something in my eye. The strong arm Jack into his the whole vanity project, the infrastructure project, and all that stuff. Um, there's something there was something off about the judge. She looked like I don't know. There was just maybe she I don't know what they were trying to convey right there with that. Maybe of the three judges presiding or proceeding over the trial, maybe she's one where maybe she's not on board. Maybe she's not bought off. You know, um, because not Karen, but Kristen wants to um, give some time to build a solid case to defend him. Obviously, the judge basically says their hands tied. There's not much they can do about it, and ultimately they do find him guilty, which was not really a big surprise. We kind of already knew that was going to happen, um, and so meanwhile, um, earlier in the episode, there's a discussion between not Frank, between Matt and Karen. But Karen is like setting up a board with all these ribbon ties and stuff like that, connecting the stuff, and Matt talks about how she's acting like Frank, and we do get some questions about Frank, um, because Karen's like, "Do you think he's dead?" And Matt's like, "No. If he was, Fisk would be hanging his body. Like the fact that they killed the Punisher, that would make Fisk happy and everything." And so there is a good question. Maybe that will be explained in the Punisher special that we're going to get in May on where Frank is at this time. Like, what is he doing? Because we do know that special is coming out in May, and then he is set to be in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. So that's also another thing too. About I think I talked about this before too, like where Spider-Man is during this whole situation. Um, maybe Spider-Man is too much of it. No, because you would still have he's still a vigilante, but maybe people like Spider-Man and maybe a little too much. And if Fisk was seen trying to take down Spider-Man, maybe that would just cause a huge like blowback on him. I don't know. That there is a question about why Spider-Man and everything is not involved and stuff like that. Maybe just can't catch him. So I don't know. But so um so like I said, the plan is they're gonna sneak into um Red Hook, and because Kristen's at the bar. Obviously, she's drinking after she lost the case and everything. Not really her fault. Where Karen in disguise bumps into her and leaves her a note to tell her to get to her office now. And as she gets there, there's Matt and it's Daredevil. Basically, basically it's like you're already involved in all this. Like you were defending Jack in court, so you pretty much probably already have a target on your back. And so she basically relays everything that she remembered from Cole walking her through the facility to where Jack was. She was able to basically give the details and everything, and that was enough for Matt to get to where he needed to, because we're getting like a montage of her walking Matt, basically refollowing those footsteps and finding ways into the facility itself. Um, and then we get to he kind of like stops after he takes down two task force guards, and he's listening for the clock. Um and the plan is to go and set off the munitions and blow the place sky high. Meanwhile, outside you have the Russian salvage team basically finished everything. And if you remember in episode 1 with Matthew Leonard's character, the plan is to basically just basically kill them. That's basically the plan. Make it look like a industrial accident or something like that, to where no one's going to talk about what they pulled out of the river. And you have the salvage team go with the Powell and Cole talking about, "Hey, we're done. Can we go? We just want to get paid, go home to our families. That's it." And obviously he's telling them wait on the boat. And obviously you probably could tell, like, I think with the main Russian guy looked very skeptical about everything, but eventually he was just like, back onto the boat and everything. So meanwhile, with Matt, gets ready to like set things off, he listens in and he finds the room full of everybody that Fisk has captured. We see the bodega guy, we see um, um, Angela's mom, um, Jack is there, and just a few other people that Fisk has round up as vigilantes. And so Matt, with Jack's help, begins to unlock the cages, get everybody out. Task force guards start to come in, and Matt and Jack start to go toe to toe with them, and taking them down. Meanwhile, Karen is seeing the commotion because both Powell and Cole are making their way to Matt's location, and then you have it to where like Karen gets out of her car. She's dialing. I guess she's trying to maybe call Matt or something. You see like a quick shadow run behind her, and Angela's there. She's wearing the white tiger necklace. So does the white tiger necklace give people abilities? I'm just so, or is it just a necklace? I know in like comics and maybe comics and stuff like that, I think it does give them like strength, speed, endurance. Like it just gives them that basic kind of superhuman ability. Um, but we do see her wearing it. She was able to swipe the comms, weapons, some weapons and stuff like that, and she's able to. Karen's able to connect with Matt through one of the walkie talkies, telling him to change to channel 4, and they're communicating. So Angela and Karen, they grab a heavily armored truck as Matt and Jack are leading everybody outside, to escape. Powell and Cole and the rest of the task force, they open up, start firing at the civilians, and then you have Karen show up, use the vehicle as a shield for everybody as Jack and Angela start to load everybody into the vehicle. Um, Karen does shoot a guy, which Matt is kind of like, because they had this whole thing in the early episode where we just can't kill these people, and stuff like that. But to me, in this situation, it's fine. I think it's fine in this situation because you're being shot at with live rounds by these guys, and what you expect Karen just to not defend herself, and but needless to say, Jack takes the armored vehicle, because we have I forgot her name. I remember it was Ariana, but she was the lady that was trying to help the captain and the first mate in the first episode. Um, she tells Matt that she knows a place where they can go and hide. Jack's going to take them there. Karen and Matt escape in their vehicle that they arrived in, and then as they're heading off, Powell calls Fisk to let him know what happened. The weapons are still there. The salvage team is still on the boat. So now they're just going to use this to their advantage. They set off the explosives on the boat, killing the crew, and obviously they're going to pin this on Daredevil and probably Jack as well, and things like that. So yeah, Fisk killed them all. Fisk killed them all. So that is basically episode 3. Um, the the scales and the sword. Obviously, a lot of people are still not impressed with these first 3 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, and yeah, it's just still like I don't know what it is, but it's just still does not have that quality feel that you got with the Netflix version of Daredevil, and that sucks. It sucks because I mean, obviously, season 3 is probably not as great as the first 2 seasons, but I would say all 3 seasons of the Netflix versions are a lot more enjoyable than the first season of the Disney Plus version, and then like obviously the first 3 episodes of this one. So I mean, we'll see. There's still plenty of stuff to happen. There's 10 episodes. We're only about to be on episode 4, which I wonder if they're going to drop like 4 or 5 this Tuesday. So I am curious on that if they're going to do that or not. But We'll find out. We'll see. But guys, that is relatively it. That is my quick review for Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 3. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. Keep an eye out too, because yesterday we dropped I dropped my Supergirl trailer and Masters of the Universe trailer on Thursday. You're gonna get a lot of content this week because just how things from a release standpoint, trailers, TV shows, and stuff like that, came out, and we are going to be reviewing Maul Shadow Lord that drops this upcoming Wednesday as well. So, I think it's this. I think it's this Wednesday. Let me make sure. I do believe. Pretty sure. Oh, actually, no. It drops this Monday. Wow, that's actually interesting. That is dropping on a Monday. That's very interesting. Oh wow, this is quick. This may be for a different video. So yeah, you guys can expect that as well. So guys, that is relatively it. If you are new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below, tell me what you guys think. Other than that, I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.